So, recording in progress. All right. So let's get going here. I want to be really respectful of everyone's time. So, welcome to why your diets and supplements might not be healing your symptoms. So, how many of you have what I like to call a supplement graveyard? You have supplements, you've tried to take them, they did nothing, they're sitting in your cabinet. I know I sure did when I was in the thick, way too many, exactly. Way too many. So, today you're going to learn why your supplements and diet might not be healing you, how your mind operates, and then why a glitch in your system could be causing your symptoms. So, little disclaimer, I'm not a medical doctor, nor do I play one on TV, and this is for educational purposes only. I'm not diagnosing or treating. Always consult your doctor. So, now that we got that out of the way, you are in the right place if any of this resonates with you. If you have weight issues that won't go away, your immune system is low, you have autoimmune, you're exhausted, low thyroid, digestive issues, food sensitivities. So if you have any of those listed below and then some, you're in the right place because we're going to hit on all of that today and why you might be having these symptoms. So I'm going to start off with my story just really briefly, how I got here. So despite the smile here and looking healthy on the outside, I suffered greatly in my teens, 20s, and early 30s. I literally tried everything. You name it, I tried it. I cut out food groups. I spent thousands of dollars on supplements. I went to a million doctors. I went to a million naturopaths. I lived in a tent at one point to escape toxic mold. I tried bee venom therapy for Lyme disease. Nothing worked. And now I realize I was an extreme case here, and hopefully none of you are resonating with that, or maybe some of you are resonating with parts of my story. But here's the thing. After trying all those doctors, they'd diagnose me. Sometimes they'd give me diagnoses. Sometimes they'd say I was healthy and send me on my way. But I tried so many routes to heal. My symptoms would always return. And frankly, I got tired of going to new doctors, navigating their systems, uploading my information into their portals, getting my hopes up that this was going to be the thing that was going to fix me, only to be let down again. And so I decided to become my own best healer. I went back to school. I studied naturopathy, psychology, blood work, mind body healing, energy medicine, and so much more. And so I used the tools and training from my education and applied them on myself first. So I was just my own guinea pig. I tried it on myself first. And then I started seeing results on a few things that I was trying. And I began trying a couple other things, and that wouldn't provide results. And so I started piecemealing what I like to call the Medella Method. And then I started working with clients, all with different symptoms, different diagnoses. And one thing became very clear that despite their differences, we were all stuck in that same cycle, chasing symptoms, ordering supplements, but we were missing a big piece of the puzzle. And that missing piece was our bodies and brains were holding on to emotions and trauma. And we're going to get more into that in a second. But once I started addressing that within myself, things started to shift. So fast forward to today, I'm healthy. I feel great. Now I help my clients get there too. And so when I first started healing, and what I found that most of my clients come to me with is we focus on the physical body. It makes sense, right? We have physical symptoms. Why would we not focus on the physical body? Don't get me wrong. I still focus on the physical body. I still, when I work with my clients, I send them supplements. We work together on making sure that their physical body is healthy. We should all move our bodies. We should all eat whole foods. But does focusing on the physical body truly make you heal? I found in my own healing journey, the more I focused on the physical, I might be better for a few days and weeks, but then my symptoms would always return. So I'd take out more food groups, add more supplements, and after years of doing that, life gets pretty darn limiting. So what about the non-physical part? I didn't feel like my brain was running the show. In fact, I felt too tired to think at all. I just wanted to lay on the couch and watch TV or scroll on my phone and isolate myself. And maybe you feel similar to how I did, or maybe you're just trying to push through the symptoms. I had dealt with anxiety, but I thought there was no way that my brain could be causing such severe physical symptoms. And so here's what I've learned. You have your conscious mind, which runs about 5% of the show. This is the part of your brain that we're in right now, talking, listening, the decisions you make, your willpower, logic. That's only 5% of our brains. Behind the scenes is our subconscious mind, and that runs a total of 95% of everything that we do. And we're not even consciously aware of all that's going on in the background. Literally every single moment, second, your subconscious is communicating to your physical body through sensations and emotions. Your subconscious also reacts faster than your conscious mind. So here's an example. Have you ever been walking down a path and you think you see a snake, even though there wasn't one, and all of a sudden your subconscious mind reacted really quickly and your adrenaline starts pumping and you run away, and then conscious mind steps in and goes, "That's not a snake." So this is how your subconscious brain talks to your conscious brain. Even though there was no actual snake, your subconscious brain misinterpreted the situation as a threat, triggering the physical response. So if you've had any type of trauma in your life, chronic stress, fear, infections, maybe you've had exposure to mold or chemicals, our body and our subconscious mind is reacting to all those things. And if that happens long enough, it starts showing up as physical symptoms like autoimmune issues, gut issues, thyroid issues, pain and fatigue. And your nervous system and your mind are always working together to keep you safe. Even if that version of safe is actually making you feel sick. And that's how we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So first off, what is trauma? Trauma is any type of wounding. And here's some examples on the page. Maybe you guys are seeing a type, if you see anything in the chat, just say me if you see anything that resonates with you in the chat. And to be honest, I didn't think I had trauma. I was like, trauma is a big word. I don't want to make anyone that has actually gone through really bad things to make them feel like their trauma wasn't bigger than mine, but it doesn't matter. We all have some types of trauma. This is how trauma shows up. So imagine your nervous system is like a bathtub, and every stressor and trauma that you experience adds water to the tub. A tough childhood, a few inches of water. A high stress job, more water. Illness, an infection, a death, more and more water. And even the little things like overstimulation, poor sleep, watching stressful shows at night, low nutrition, that all adds water to your bathtub. Now, normally your bathtub can drain, it processes it, recovers, resets. But when stress comes on faster than the bathtub can drain, the water level rises. And it's usually, when I've been working with my clients, it's usually one thing that pushes that bathtub to overflow. So maybe you moved into a moldy house and you started having symptoms and you think, if it wasn't for this moldy house, I'd be fine. Or maybe you go through a divorce and before you know it, you have an autoimmune disease. Or we all know someone that got COVID and they really struggled to recover and they think, if I hadn't gotten COVID, I would be fine. It's just because your bathtub started to overflow. There was a lot that led up to that. So when you start to have the symptoms and the diagnoses, it's because your bathtub is overflowing. And that overflow is what we call dysregulation. So the way your subconscious tells your body it's dysregulated is through symptoms like fatigue, histamine issues, anxiety, inflammation, gut issues, hormone, brain fog. It's trying to communicate with you to say there's something going on. And so when your bathtub is overflowing, it creates this glitch in your limbic system. And limbic system might be a new term. So what's your limbic system? Your limbic system is the subconscious control center of your brain. It's a part of your brain. It plays a crucial role in regulating your stress response, your emotions, your immune system and digestion, your hormones and thyroid. So when your bathtub starts to overflow with stress and trauma, your limbic system gets stuck in this survival mode. And that's the glitch that I was talking about. And it makes your brain misinterpret harmless things as threats to protect you, to get your bathtub to stop overflowing. So examples of that glitch. Maybe all of a sudden you're sensitive to gluten and dairy now, where you could eat it just fine when you were a kid. Maybe scented candles or walking down the detergent aisle at the grocery store gives you a headache. Maybe you don't like socializing like you used to. Maybe no matter how clean you eat, your digestion just feels off. So, despite eating well, exercising, doing all the right things, taking the supplements, you're struggling to improve. And this also is probably why those diets and supplements aren't working. It's like your bathtub's trying to drain, but everything else is constantly overflowing because we're not addressing that root cause. So, no matter how many supplements you're throwing at it, your water just keeps rising. And I want you to know your body isn't broken. It's just stuck in this protective pattern. This is exactly what your body was designed to do. And when your limbic system misfires, it sends signals that there's danger, just like that snake analogy that I gave earlier. So even when you're consciously safe, you recognize there's no snake, your brain essentially thinks that there's a snake there, even though you're just sitting in your living room. And when your limbic system is stuck in survival mode, it doesn't prioritize healing. So you might be thinking, I don't feel like I'm in survival mode. And I didn't either. I honestly felt too tired to even think, and I had too much brain fog to think. But here's how that glitch works. Imagine driving down a dirt road. At first, it's smooth, but the more and more you drive it, day after day, week after week, those deep ruts start to form. And eventually, your car just falls into them automatically. You don't even need to drive, it just gets in the rut itself. And that's exactly what happens with your brain. Those neurons that fire together wire together. Chronic stress and trauma can carve deep patterns in the nervous system. And at first, those responses helped you survive, but over time, they became automatic, even when the threat was long gone. So now your brain reacts out of habit, just like driving down that dirt road. And it's not because you're broken, it's just because your brain has been wiring together and it's stuck in this rut. First and foremost, this is not your fault. Symptoms didn't appear because you did something wrong, because you're thinking of victim. They just showed up because your body was trying to protect you. It's a glitch in the system. Your brain thought it needed to keep you safe. It isn't a sign of weakness. It's just how the nervous system responds. And for many of this started in childhood. Maybe you navigated a tough parent, a broken family, emotional or physical abuse. Maybe you felt like you had to be perfect to be loved. And that's your foundation. And then life happens, and we all know life can be hard, especially in today's age. We weren't created for the constant access to news, the toxins, the infections, the constant email beeps, the lack of community, the low minerals in our food. All that contributes to adding up to your bathtub. But the good news is your brain is changeable. Just like it learned these patterns of protection, it can relearn patterns of safety and balance. So the first step in healing is attunement, learning how to tune into your body. It means noticing what your body is trying to tell you with just curiosity, compassion, and starting to build a relationship with your body instead of trying to push through the symptoms or fix the symptoms. You're just trying to get on the same team. Your body isn't the enemy, it's actually your best friend. So we have to treat it like your best friend. All those symptoms, they're just trying to protect you. And you just want to keep pushing through your exhaustion when it's trying to send those signals of, hey, we need to rest, we need to slow down. Can you listen to me? But healing begins when we start listening to it like we would a child, paying attention to it with that curiosity and the compassion. It's not about forcing gratitude or thinking positively. That's not what this is. It's just building a connection like we're on the same team. So one practice that I love to do, and we can do this together, is you're going to place your right hand under your left armpit, the side of your heart, and then you're going to take your left hand and cross it over your shoulder, and you're going to give yourself a hug. And notice how that feels. And just curiously and compassionately tune into what your body is trying to tell you right now. not in terms of maybe good or bad. Maybe it just feels comforted by you acknowledging it. Maybe it feels restless. What is your body saying or feeling right now? And if you feel comfortable, you can write it in the chat, but just tune in with curiosity. By starting to do these types of practices, you start to build trust with your body and you signal safety to it. Remember, your subconscious brain doesn't understand words, it understands sensations and emotions. So once we get on the same team with your body and we tell your body it's safe through those sensations and emotions, that's when we add in neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself for healing, happiness, peace. When you're rewiring your brain, it gives your nervous system a break from that constant danger. Your nervous system's constantly looking for threats. Where's that snake? Where's that snake? But when you use neuroplasticity, if you do it correctly, it gives your brain that break to just take the back seat, pause, and heal. And the best part is nobody is too broken to heal. Neuroplasticity is like gravity. It just works. So no matter where you're starting from, what your diagnosis is, your brain can absolutely change. I believe behind every physical symptom that you might have, there's an emotion contributing to that symptom. And I have a clear step-by-step process that I can help you connect with your body using the exercises and neuroplasticity to start rewiring for your brain for healing so that you can start making plans with friends and actually keeping them. Travel without overwhelm and anxiety. Order off the menu without having to change all your orders, gluten-free, dairy-free, just order off the menu. You can start wearing perfume again without having a headache. And this isn't just theory or wishful thinking. No matter where you're at in your healing journey, whether you're starting out or you've been at this for a while and you're just kind of plateaued, I get it. But this does work. So I want to remind you, no matter where you're at in your healing journey, just starting out or feeling after years and years, you have a choice. You can absolutely keep doing what you're doing. But if you feel like you've been plateaued or stuck for a little bit, it might be time to add something new. And that something isn't just another protocol or product, it's healing that whole subconscious brain that's running the show. Because sometimes that missing piece isn't another supplement. I wish it was. I wish it was just that easy, but sometimes you need to just heal from the ground up. And when you support the nervous system gently and consistently, your body will finally shift out of that survival mode and into healing mode. And we don't have to do it perfectly. It's just about giving your body a new kind of support. So I ran a beta test with a few of my clients, all with different diagnoses and symptoms. I had a working mom who was exhausted, bloated, and had thyroid issues. And despite sticking to a gluten-free diet and exercising, she just wasn't getting better. She had weight loss goals, nothing was working. But after a few months of working on her nervous system, she was able to cut her thyroid medicine in half. The weight started falling off. And more importantly, she had the energy to be the mom she wanted to be for her kids. I had another client, he had food sensitivities and anxiety and allergies, and he was taking a ton of supplements. But he really wasn't seeing the returns. So he's like, all right, I'll give you a try, Lauren. Let's try this. So fast forward a few months, anxiety is gone. His food sensitivities are going away. He also had this weird foot pain that he didn't think was tied to nervous system at all, and it went away. It's amazing the odd symptoms that start to disappear when you start working on your nervous system. So if you're ready to say you want to go all in, I'm inviting you to join us in the new Medella Method. The Medella Method is a step-by-step program focused on healing your nervous system. It combines somatic healing to reconnect your brain and body, limbic system retraining to get you out of survival mode, and tools like light, food, and energy to support that deep healing. So you can do it the slow way, take what we went over today, try and do it yourself, or just do it fast with the Medella Method. And so what's the investment? So this is going to live on my website for $997. Going forward, the community is going to be $69. But today, because you guys will be founding members, I'm offering it for $49 a month. No contracts, no tricks. You can cancel at any time. It's not like those gym memberships that you can't ever get out of. You just go into your settings and cancel it. So also, I want to add in the Learn Your Labs course that I created last year that I sold on my website for $400. So I'm going to include that in this membership. And like I said before, the physical body matters too. I want you to heal. I'd say 85% of healing is related to your nervous system, but your nervous system is also deeply connected to your physical body. So if you have nutrient deficiencies, blood sugar imbalances, your nervous system feels that strain. So every time we nourish our bodies, nourish our systems, optimize our blood work, our nervous system receives the message of, I'm safe, we have what we need, we can heal. So by learning to read your labs from an optimal perspective, you'll gain clarity on what your body needs. Because if your body's supported, your nervous system will be supported too, and it can actually heal. So this is what the inside of the course will look like. It has everything from your nervous system foundations, what is trauma, all about your limbic system. We go into way more depth on that. Fight or flight tools, freeze or shutdown tools. You'll learn how to read your nervous system and then implement exercises based on what your body is communicating with you. Also, learning how to use light correctly, energy healing. Our emotions are stored in different organs and glands. So you'll learn all about that. Nutrition, I have a ton of recipes because if you're not giving yourself enough nutrition, that's another thing that your nervous system will think, oh, we're depleted, we need to stress more. So learning how to really fuel yourself correctly. And then monthly question and answers. So we're going to have a Facebook community where you can put questions in, and then we'll meet live once a month and go over your questions, and then I'll record them so you can watch previous ones as well. And then, of course, you're going to get that blood work course as well. And the Facebook community, I know that when I was in my healing journey, I was so isolated. And so having a community of people that understand what you're going through can also be huge. So we're going to have a Facebook community of people just like you that are healing, all for $49 a month. Or you can sign up for 6 months and get 10% off for $267. So as we're wrapping up, I want you to heal. This is the program that I wish would have existed when I was in my healing journey. It would have saved me so many years. And let's face it, life is stressful. We all need to be working and balancing our nervous systems. We weren't created to watch these stressful Netflix shows night after night and get that instant access to news. And so I truly believe if we don't address the stress and trauma and nervous systems that our bodies are holding, we'll just stay in this stuck cycle of symptoms. So let's make today the day that you begin to fully heal. I'm going to put the link to purchase in the chat. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. I want to be really respectful of everyone's time. I know I went fast, but I just want to make sure that you're getting all your questions answered. So let's make sure there's no questions. I'm also going to record this. So I have it recorded. So if you have to jump off, I'll send it out in a replay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time today. I know time is precious. It's our most precious resource. And so can I put this on a credit card? Yep. Yeah, just hit that link, whichever course you want to choose, whether you want to just do it month to month. You can hit that top link in the group chat. Or if you want to do the 6 month, just hit that 6 month one. You can also go to courses.medellahealing.com/enroll, and it will talk more about it. But today you'll get probably the most cumbersome information by showing up. Let's see, make sure there's no. All right, everyone. So if that's it, I will let you have your time back. Oh, Dawn, it's so good to see you. Thank you. Can't wait to see you inside. Awesome. All right, my friends, happy healing. Have a great rest of your day.